first down. It's Taylor, and they're able to get this one across the 35. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Open man is Ross, complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 23 yards, the final tally. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. They'll set up a throw. Got a man open. It's Ross. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Now a give, right side. Taylor. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. So much for being intimidated on the road in the playoffs, right? That was a pretty clinical drive right there.
Yeah, they seem to come out with the attitude of, we don't deal with pressure. We create it on the other team. Just took it right down the field and stuffed it in the end zone.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Jackson now. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check, ready. Go to base. Check, check. Off, off. Tight right. You got 3 down. Go nowhere, 22, go nowhere. Tighten up. Check.
Here's Jackson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play that time for the Ravens. 45 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Ready? Right. 52. Time to go. Night. Here we go. That's it. 52. Heads in. Welcome right.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson. And Perriman's got it for a Raven touchdown. Brashad Perriman, 27 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a 2nd and 7. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw here. Able to find Waller. That's complete. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. They'll run on 1st down. It's Taylor, and a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Here we go.
2nd and 11. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it's 3rd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the 1st.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Switch. Kill. Check out.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Intended for Mark Andrews. Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
We ain't beginning to turn you up. Don't get nervous.
Here's Jackson to throw again. Being chased out left. And now he'll let this one go deep. Back up. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. T.J. Green with a pick. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. These two teams all tied after one. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. It's Taylor trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
Watch that end. Tight end's right.
They'll try and throw for it here. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there's a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. be able to knock the ball through the post and take the three.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either
not
way.
the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. Into the game that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
He's crashed. He's checking crash.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
The Raiders on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Taylor. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. After a gain of 6 to the 46. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Taylor. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
The offense stays put. They failed twice already in this first half, but they're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down.
They're running it. Line 50, line 50. Bandit.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. They've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving.
First down, Raiders.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Going up top. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. And you don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right?
Watch Mike. We own it. We own it.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Jonathan Abram picks it. And they get the football. They'll set up shop. At their own 49-yard line.
At their own 49-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
At the Ravens' 32-yard line.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. 2nd and 9 now. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. On first down, Taylor. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
52's the mic. I'm scared. Hey, Mike.
Throwing is Jackson. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens have once again taken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 17-14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Watch the run. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Kill. Turn it up. Kill. Turn it up. Check. Crunch. What up?
They'll throw now on the final play. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So we are halfway home to figuring out who will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, that's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Mike 52, Mike 52. Check Mike, check Mike.
From the gun, Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 45. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. Now he's going to go deep down the left. It's caught at the 10. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with second and goal coming up. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. From back at the 2, here's third and goal. They'll try to run this one in. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. The defense stiffens to force fourth down following that first down gain of 8. They're not going to kick it. A chip shot, but they're going for it down 3 on fourth down. Try to punch it in with Taylor. He's fighting, but they're not going to let him in. Stopped at the 2-yard line. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied, and the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use?
And it's a fumble.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. Play action. It's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. He's got this one complete to Perriman. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
Watch the pass.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. So left side, it's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. 55 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. On this stage, conference championship game, every play is magnified, and that was a big play.
No doubt about it. One thing that has these guys a step away from a shot at a big game, their big play ability. They can strike from anywhere.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Justin Evans. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Check 53.
Now Jackson on 1st down. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
24 is the mic. Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They'll run with Taylor. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. 50's the Mike. 50's the Mike.
They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
One quarter remains until we crown the AFC champion. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he claps down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the 2nd level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Von Miller able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it now because you're exactly right. All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Fletcher Cox and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. We got 3. We got 3. 24 minutes.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson looking for the end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all, and to me it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And down inside the 15 he goes. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually
involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. From 13 yards out, as the Ravens push further out in front. Now it's Jackson to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Justin Evans. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Dancing to his left. He's going to take it. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. As his guys are in for 6 as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge.
And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 21. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Jackson fakes the give and keeps, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. On 3rd down, Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. This point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go out doing